What's up, guys? Welcome to the Ghost in the Shell channel. Today, we're going to be talking about how you can build a community and using $100 or less a month. So, what we're going to kind of do is choose a path, right? Niche down on something and theoretically walk through this and build up questions that can help us determine which is best or which is the ethical choice to make as far as how we go about building this. So, with that said, if you enjoy videos like this, please be sure to subscribe. If you like this video, click the like button click the like button and help us out, get this video to more people across the net and for the algorithm and so forth. So, with that said, let's get into the video. So on here, I have how to build and maintain a community under $100 or less. All right. So first off, let's put this out there off top. We know that the availability of free resources is available. Locations like Facebook, right? We know this, right? But what we are focused on is product as a service. Okay. The way that this can work and that I've seen work from others is that when they offer a product such as a course or they want to start a school online, right? They have a knowledge bank or many people that have the same knowledge bank or specific niches, degrees, etc., that they can put together into building that online community. Obviously, they'll offer now a product as a service. So what we're thinking is, let's say that, for instance, we are a fitness influencer or a fitness enthusiast, right? And when we're the fitness enthusiasts, we are looking at everything fitness, not just being the influencer, not just being the face of the program or the face of the platform, right? We're thinking about the back end, the front end, the mechanics of physical activities, and so forth. Right. So, what we would think about is I want to build a community that revolves around people that are like minded, like me, that like to stay fit, that like to eat clean, that like to eat different or vegan or only vegetables or whatever you vegetarians, whatever the case may be. My idea is I want to do this, build a community where I can keep it under $100 a month, and I want to give you the resource how you can do it, which platform you can. All right, so let's go to up here. What we need to think about is this a product based community, right? Obviously, our idea on this is yes, it's a product as a service. In other words, we are going to think about creating courses where we talk about perhaps what kind of exercises you could use for your back, and then going incrementally down the list of what kind of exercises you could use for the arms, what kind of exercises you could use for the legs, and so forth, right? So each module would consist of that. And this is a community where we could discuss or communicate with each other or keep building on. And we can do a lot of different things that we couldn't do on Facebook. Facebook has more of a narrow space when it comes to business to me. Sure, you can have ads. Sure, you can do such things, but that's within their platform. Here, you're able to build it on your own, and there's no strings attached when it comes to somebody running what you do and saying the only things that you can do when you're using their services, right, or their platform. So, if I may, I would suggest or recommend to you using circle.com. This is a place, a platform, a software that you can use that is built around and revolves around being able to host your own school pretty much. And you can have private meetings, live streams, all that stuff, but within a certain tier. And the tier that we're focusing on doesn't have the live streams like that, but it doesn't mean you can't still do that. You still have YouTube that is a free resource. You still have what is it, OBS, platforms like this, Clipchamp if you have Windows 11, uh, plenty of different things where you can outsource to be able to do things like that. So we're focused on product as a service, putting together courses, right? Theoretically, and that's what we want to build our community around, right? So yes, this is a product-based community. Now, next, we want to think about what is our why, right? Why do we want to build this? Why should someone join our community? And I would say if people want to join our community, they want to join it because they want to have some accountability and a bunch of like-minded people to help keep them accountable to what their personal goals are, what they're noticing about their habits, and how people can share different knowledge or psychological information that can help them, on their journey to stay fit. And along the way, they're able to use the courses that you offer, provide, and so forth. So one of the benefits is that they'll be able to meet people that are like-minded, obviously, and they'll be able to share or um, gain knowledge that they might not have had before or that they've come across. You know what I mean? And people can also expect to learn, right? They can expect to share, provide different opportunities, different information, and actual sources that aren't hackers trying to fish into your pockets, right? So, that's just a couple questions: is what benefits will people gain from joining in your community, and what can people expect to learn or share within the community? These are questions that we can ask ourselves to help us determine and narrow down exactly what it is that we need to focus on, what we're building our product around, and who we're building it for, why we're even thinking about doing such a thing of building a community, when obviously, yes, there's hundreds of thousands of communities out there, but what what is there always a thing excuse me, how should I put this? What is there always an endless amount of, right? I think you could consider people, right? There's always new generations coming up, and there's always new communities that can be formed, and so on. So if somebody's trying to tell you otherwise, why would you want to build one? Just give them the thumbs up and adios, and keep doing what you're doing. Now, the next question that we want to think about is, what are the ground rules, right? You want to have some kind of idea of more or less what kind of rules should not be broken, what kind of rules will be in effect, right? And also what kind of principles you're going to hold yourself accountable. Like, what is your vision, what's your mission, right? What is your mission with the community, as far as we're building this fitness community because we believe that fitness is for all people, and free knowledge should be available as open source to anybody that is out there. And yeah, it could kind of go hand in hand with that, as far as what we would be thinking about next as far as monetization and stuff like that. But everybody has their own opinion. Um, to an extent, yes, open source can be a great benefit, but this is just theoretically thinking. So, anyways, now what we our next question would be is, who or what will help you moderate the community, right? Moderate as in, while you sleep, who's going to help you assist your students, your community, your people that are involved in that community with you while you're gone, while you can't be right there. If you don't have a whole team of people that you can pay to be able to answer each of those questions or every one of those emails, right? And so that's what we want to think about. So here's an idea that you can use. Since GPT has been quite a hit lately, a lot more since it's actually been around for quite some time. Um, how could you integrate chat gpt with your product as a service, with circle.com, and so on? Now, the point of having this, right, there's another route that you could go, is pre-built messaging bots to help guide people through the platform while you're sleeping, while you're awake, right? Now the idea is that to have the little icon on the bottom right, it's a little messaging icon, right? So when somebody shows up to the community, if they have a question and you're gone, you're asleep, you're on Pacific time, they're on across the world time, which is maybe we can think about it as the UK, right? They're awake while we're asleep while they're awake, and they need an answer. They need an answer to their question, and you're not around to do so. The bot, you can give it a prompt of information, questions and answers, and presets, and all that great stuff. And this can come pre-built in some cases as a template, and you can train it in certain ways. And there's the route you can go about this as a moderator to help you when you're doing your live streams and doing all these other amazing things within the platform. Stuff that can be taken care of while you're gone is great when AI can be that person or the thing to do so. So that's just an idea of as far as who can help you moderate this, right? When there's only one you, how many more of versions of you could you spread out when it comes to chat GPT or pre-built messaging bots? Now the next question is, what do you welcome and what don't you welcome, right? um, Off the top we could be like, well, we don't welcome racism, and we don't welcome vulgarity or language that's gonna hurt somebody's feelings, or you know what I mean. These are just the basics and the things that you should put some thought into, because when it comes to moderating your community, there's behaviors obviously that are toxic, and there's behaviors that aren't toxic that you would really would like to really keep in mind that that's what you want. If you really don't really care about how people talk, how people are habitually, that's completely up to you. It's your community, right? But that's just some thoughts to put into your mind and some questions that you can look down. Now, the next thing that we want to think about is how will you spread the word about your community, right? If you don't have a budget and we're trying to stay under $100, obviously Google Ads probably won't be the best option for us right now. So what we want to think about is how can we use resources outside of having to pay for marketing, how can we use up to the full advantage our paid resources, which would be word of mouth, social media platforms. Aside from marketing tools, obviously we got it up there, and flyers, posters, stickers, free videos on YouTube talking about what you're doing, right? Building in public, like how Tesla was did when they brought out their artificial intelligence, and the robots started walking up on stage, and now they're letting us know that within what is it, 8 to 6 to 8 months that they built that walking robot, right? And that's considered building in public, and it's very inspiring to me. But on the other hand, when you don't got the budget to be watching for cyber threats, it's something that you should take into consideration. So as far as building in public, but it is something that can be done. But if you're not building like a software as a service, I don't think I would recommend you build in public, because that just kind of gives somebody the idea where they can go look through all your videos, and each little integration that you're adding is easy to just kind of be like, hey, this is a way that we can get in, blah blah blah. Let's infiltrate, take all the data that they got, right, and then there goes your trust and your promise that you made to your people, and so forth. So it's something to think about. How you would market this, how will you put this and use every paid an unpaid resource or free resource that you could possibly use, and which way will you go and really like buckle down and work, put the hard work into, right? Obviously there's free platforms: Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, multiple different platforms that, and I mean, if you really want to get into it, the platform that we're going to be looking at, there's an option or a tier which is above $100, but it also, if you don't want to build an application specific for what you're doing, the platform comes with it. So we'll get into that after. But yeah, think about that. How will I market this thing? Will I just use word of mouth? Will I just use family members, friends, cousins, aunts, uncles, cousin, your sister, your daughter, your friend, your friend's daughter's daughter, whatever the case may be? How will you get this to the people or the unique users that you envision in your mind? Right now, what platform will you use to build and maintain this community? Now, like I said previous, in this tier, we're trying to keep this under $100. So the platform that I'm recommending is circle.com, and we'll be visiting it shortly. Well, my perspective on this is that if you use this platform as and you compare and contrast Facebook community building as opposed to having your own platform and you specifically niching down on something and working it to down to the nitty gritty, right? You getting down and dirty at the front lines, at the back lines, being the sergeant, being the general, being the colonel, whatever, however you want to metaphorically think about this. Um, Compare and contrast the two. What are the pros? What are the cons? What can you do differently that you can't do? What can you do differently on circle.com that you can't do on Facebook? Or what can you do differently on Facebook or circle that you know what I mean? You get the picture. But anyways, what platform will you use? And I'm recommending circle.com. The reason that we're saying this is that on Circle, you're able to have a specific URL, right? Facebook, it can give you a URL, but it's facebook.com/ whatever your thing is, right? Now, if you were to do circle.com, there's just unique different branding opportunities that are available out there for you that you can take into consideration before walking into it. And then you're like, oh, well, I guess we'll brand it as something later down the road. Completely up to you. I think, and I really admire when people can take conscious thought and apply it ahead of time. Like, yes, I planned this. It was premeditated. We did this. We thought this through. We did this all the way down to the Q. Like, that is awesome to me. When you can really narrow down each of the details and nail it down the road when somebody asks, like, wow, or they look at your blueprint, like, what the hell? Like, this person nailed it down to the point. There's no missing with them. Like, I want to work with those people. You know what I mean? So when we think about circle.com, there's multiple tiers that you can use to build this community, right? Now that we've answered all the other questions previous to this, now we can start thinking about how are we going to turn this blueprint of questions and answers into something that is now going to be turned into a product as a service and a platform where we can host multiple different things for all our people that we're envisioning in our idea, in our plan, and all the way down to the details. So if we go down with circle.com, there's a tier that is about $50 a month, and you get 100 up to 100 people that you can join into, or you can add into that community, and then you get like a private section where you can have them float around into, and you could which we'll be talking about after, which is monetization, and uh and we'll get into the details of that. But yeah, like there's a lot of different little mini perks that you could be offering for your community that you just I don't think it is profitable if you're trying to turn your regular job into something like this. You know what I mean? So I just don't see Facebook being able to do that for somebody. In my eyes, in my heart, I could be wrong and really don't care. We're here to talk about how you can do it in a different way, right? Um, you spend a little bit of money, you keep pouring in some money into something, and eventually it could push out something very valuable, a brand that's very respected, and people that become loyal to it and trust you, right? To me, it's a really important where you can build firewalls around something that is not really the route you would go, but when you can do it, to me, again, it's something that can be respected and in the long haul um, can be really successful. So, anyways, if were to use um, circle.com, here's the tiers if we were to upgrade, right? Here's all the perks that you can look at as and compare and contrast for basic, professional, and enterprise. If we were to just start at the basic, right? We just need just to get started. We're not looking to pour in a bunch of money yet. Right now, we need to just put something together, package it, and have a working um what do you call it, prototype, right? And this prototype is where it's like agile development, where we put something out and now we can work on it as we see what needs to be changed, what needs to be not changed, and what needs to be um fixed or not fixed, what bugs are there, you know what I mean? So as far as members, you got 100 members on the basic tier. You got one admin, one moderator, 10 spaces where you can create within just this tier, right? And there's some transaction fees there. Attachment storage, 10 gigs per send. If it's 10 gigs per send per attachment, great. I don't think I need more than 10 gigs to send somebody a message, to be honest. But that's in the meantime, that's good enough to get started, right? Now, like we said, we mentioned earlier, live streaming and live rooms. There are different routes that we can go about this. We can personally create our own web of tools and resources. So although in this tier we don't have the live streaming and live rooms that they offer through their software as a service, we can outsource this with like Zoom, with Google Meets, right? With platforms that are free, and we could leverage those to be another connection to our web that revolves around this, right? So don't get sidetracked or thrown off by the perks that you're not offered here. The point is to be able to get to the enterprise, right? It could be, or to get to the point where you can create your own software as a service and do those great things, just within your own portal, right? Now, here's the different features. You don't get the courses on here, but like I said, we want to build a web of resources and eventually get to the point where we can just centralize. And then, um, I mean, it's really tough saying that word centralize, because I'm really all for decentralizing. But the point is to centralize, um, on one platform, so that way you don't have to be uh, paying, oh, over there, pay this subscription here, pay that subscription there, right? But for now, to start, if you got $100 a month that you can spare every single month until you can pay for an annual subscription, or whatever the case may be, then you know what I mean, you do so. But for that, until now, since this tier doesn't offer courses to be within the platform and centralized, now we create another arm or another web to where we could use Owlish, which is this platform right here. And you can create your course here. And now we can send people, we can take in their information from circle.com, right? And now we have our email marketing going on, to where we can send out emails like, here's the course that you've subscribed to, you were looking forward to. Now you can purchase it for $20, for a lifetime membership, and free upgrades for if you just purchase it once this time, right? Or however much your course may be. And that one of the benefits that I really think is cool is when somebody offers that you pay once and you get unlimited updates for, for as long as you're around, right? And they're around. So that's pretty cool. It's something that is a nice perk, because when you got to purchase new stuff over and over and over, is eventually gets to the point it's like, dang man, like I don't know why we keep buying the new Samsungs and new iPhones, because anyways, that's a whole different conversation for another day. But like I said, things to think about, right? We can use outsource platforms like this to be able to do what we think off the top might not be available, right? What something doesn't have, another place will. And if you think about this, if we want to upgrade this, right? Let's go to upgrade. Integrate. We got payments, look and feel. I think it's payments. If we want to upgrade our account, I think it's only about $10 per month, and you have a certain amount of megabytes or gigs that you get, to where you can upload. So I can't find it right now while we're live. It's fine. Um, you can look for it. I'll have the links in the description. You can look through it yourself, but it's very cheap and great on that platform. Now, I am an affiliate with Teachable, but I'm not going to be using that with this specific video, because that is something that I literally just keep for my own use, like connected with YouTube and my other stuff. But specifically on a budget, we're looking at using Owlish, Zoom, and circle.com right here. So I'll have all the links, the mind map available as well. Here's some more perks that we got: the GDPR compliant iOS app. You get the iOS app on the basic tier, bruh. So very, 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 very nice. One thing we don't get access to on the basic tier is the API, and we don't get the Zapier integration. So if you're familiar with Zapier, awesome. If you're not, Zapier is a place where if let's say you built a form, right, and there's a trigger that needs to be, in other words, for it to be a trigger, it's considered like a zap, and the system Zapier will pick it up and send it over to either your email or wherever you want that data to be stored, and it can send it off to multiple places, right? It's a great integration, very very useful in the no code and coding and other platforms, other industries as well. So yeah, just some thoughts to think about. The only other place that you would get access to Zapier integration is in the professional tier. And if you're interested in literally using your $100 a month to just have that and not want to have to outsource, completely up to you again. But you can look at and measure the different perks, what works best for you, what you do and don't need. How you can go about this is completely up to you. So let's hop in over to this. So yeah, that's the platform that I would be recommending to you. I'll have the link in the description. And last but not least, we want to think about monetization. How are we going to pay the bills, right? You got bills, I got bills, mama got bills, grandma got bills. And unfortunately, if grandma's retired and cannot work, can barely move, she still has bills. That's the sad part, right? But so let's not make money an awkward thing, right? If we are looking to replace our 9 to 5 or not, but if we are, we want we are our aim is to eventually turn this into a business, right? Into something that is profitable for us to live off of and make a little bit of extra income. And if it turns into just more than extra income, then it turns into our main source, right? So if that is the case, and we're thinking about monetization, we could be thinking about monetization from an affiliate perspective, right? We could, if we're a fitness enthusiast, we would think about supplements as an affiliate. We could think about um, since we're building this community through circle.com, possibly becoming an affiliate with them. Every time you recommend somebody to come to their website and sign up, or they get a membership or whatever through circle.com, maybe they offer that. I would have to look more further into that, but just throwing out ideas. Um, you could get a little kick down from sometimes there's platforms where if you get somebody to what is it called? Log in and create a profile and become a member of their site, they'll kick you down some commission, or they'll apply it to your next month's rent with their platform, right? And by doing so, you don't, all you got to do is work to get 1 to 2 people a month. Sometimes it's hard, sometimes it's not. It just varies. If you got good luck, if you don't got good luck, whatever you want to spontaneously put that upon is completely up to you as well. Now, next, again, that's the affiliate route. You can get creative with all the affiliates you might want to include on that. Um, yes, it sounds very capitalist, but like I said, even if grandma's got bills, that means so do I, right? And I got a family, I got food to put on the table, and I have rent to pay or mortgage to pay, right? Um, obviously, some way, somewhere there, if this is gonna be a product as a service, there's something that's gonna be paid. So, one thing you could be thinking about is subscriptions. If you're or memberships, right? If you want to just have monthly memberships and include the courses within that membership, that's also amazing as well. I think a very challenging route when it comes to I guess agile development, because it's something that you got to stay on top of and make sure that your prompts for your chatbot are on point, right? And that you have answers to a lot of the questions that might come up, and pre-think some of the questions that might come up. Like you could go to Google and search like questions that might come up with I'm hosting this kind of platform, like, you know what I mean? Be an engineer or a software developer, when you're looking for your answers through Google, you got to excuse me, you got to know the exact question that you're searching for, and get in there and get it. So, anyways, memberships or subscription, great way to put package together everything that you're expecting to do, and great way to really bring in some income. If you've got a $30 membership and it's just one tier, $30 a month per person at 100 people within the community, that's like crowdfunding, right? You could possibly be crowdfunding to go and start a physical location and possibly hire some of those people that are within the community. You just never know. The possibilities could be endless. Is how big your vision could be, how big, and I don't want to say your imagination, but your vision, your goals, your future thinking, your perspective, whatever you want to call it, your good luck or your blessings, however you think of it, it's all on you. How can you get creative with this route that you could partake in and all of these different tools that you can integrate with, and different ways you could think, right? So if it's not a monetized platform and you just want to be a straight out open source community, then it probably should be more